So my glasses are broken, and these are my backups. Okay, just hold on a sec here. Man, I looking like Austin Powers up in it. So unless this just completely traumatizes you, I will be going glassesless for these videos. I really do hope that's okay, because these are just. These are something else. Hello, wonderful people. Connor Whitmore here again with another video for you on the Nawtystep channel, and it is time for the first video of Yearly Favourites Week 2022 as I give you my top 30 remixes in bass music of the year. Yes, Yearly Favourites Week 2022. Here we go. 5 videos coming up over the next week or so. We got remixes right here in this video, then we got compilations, then EPs, then albums, then singles rounding it all off. All bass music, of course, which is what this channel is about, so you want to make sure that you're subbed and that you hit the bell along the way so you're notified when all of these videos drop and you're watching them as soon as they come out. The rules for this particular video: it can be any take on an original tune, so a VIP, a remix, a refix, a regurgitation, a revamp, a 2.0, whatever you want to call it, as long as it is another take or an edit of an original tune, and no remixer or original track can be mentioned twice in this video. We're going upwards from 30 to number 1, and we got 30 more honourable mentions coming just before that, which will be listed in alphabetical order by way of artist name. In these videos, these are just my opinion, my personal picks, nothing objective here. This is just what I feel were the best myself over the course of the year. And on that note, I want to know your favourites. Drop them all down below. What are your favourite remixes in bass music over the course of 2022? And also, would you make a my list? Is it awful? Is it great? What is it? Anything in between? But yeah, let's go, shall we? Kicking off with the honourable mentions for the best 30 remixes in bass music of 2022. I'll see you guys in a bit. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And coming in now at number 30, we have the Looney Tunes remix of No Limit, which is just pure hardcore bedlam, very in your face, very unapologetic with how big, roomy and kind of large it is. It is quite a lot of fun. I enjoy it. And then at number 29, we have the Ipsium remix of Laserbeam, the best remix I heard of one of the biggest singles of the year from Ray Volpe, of course. I heard loads of takes on that original, and this one stood out to me as mile and away the best, I would have to say. Yeah, just a fat D&B banger, loving the difference between the different drops we get from one to another. Yeah, it is very nice. At number 28, we have the Blaze remix of Down Low, which is a very neatly executed, cutesy, tricksy D&B cut, you know, very incisive and to the point, very direct with the note placement here, and quite unexpected from him in terms of a genre choice. So yeah, liking that one quite a bit. And then at number 27, we have the Dis Thing remix of Walk Away, which is probably the wildest remix of the year in terms of just how much is going on here and the energy of it from start to finish. Just loads of mad ideas. It's electrifying and it's very charming as well. So yeah, a lot going for that one. Following that, number 26, we have the Gydra remix of Can't Hold Back, a very solid grungy D&B cut from, for me, one of the most consistent in D&B at the moment in particular, and especially that, you know, that hard, just gravelly, earthy kind of style. Yeah, the energy on point, the groove on point, just very saucy. And following that, another D&B cut, the Mephius remix of Concussion. Yeah, just classic seismic Mephius material for the most part. Quite a big amount of fun to it as well with the introduction whenever that comes back in the midsection, whatever. Yeah, just some of the best D&B that I heard this year, vintage from him. At number 24, the John Casey remix of Trap 8-6. Just gritty as fuck, hard as nails, edgy, riveting, gnarly, without being particularly out there. You know, it's still quite contained for, you know, how much kind of heaviness it has to it. But yeah, top tune, really recommend checking that one out if you haven't heard it yet. And then at number 23, following that, we have the Exploit remix of Knock Knock, which is a really naughty little edit of one of my favourite tunes, favourite originals of 2021. Chibs, knock knock that would be. But yeah, this one just so glitchy, so technical, so cheeky as well to go with that. Yeah, this one again is a lot of fun. At number 22, we have the Kill Matter reloop of Red Loop by ISOXO, and this one is pretty mad actually, going from hardcore breaks, kind of night punk style, into a bit of mumblecore for the second drop. The vocal work, the vocal sampling is stunning here, very, very good, and yeah, just remixing again, one of the most famed singles in bass music of the year, and doing a good job with it, I would say. And at number 21, we have the Fox Stevenson remix of Gold Dust, an absolute classic. Yeah, this is just simple, to the point, just a great take on what is such a well-known tune in the electronic scene. And yeah, it just pretty much ticks all the boxes for what it says on the tin, I will say that. At number 20, we have Killfeed with his Back and Forth VIP, which is pretty much exactly what you would want from this VIP in my opinion. It keeps the essence of the original really well, with cheeky little changes here and there, in the drops in particular. But yeah, it cuts deep, it's nifty, it's devilish, and just very naughty indeed. At number 19, we have the Night Punk remix of All We've Got, which is raw, ravenous night punk in full flow, I would have to say. And, you know, he made quite a few remixes this year, so for this one to stand out above all those other good ones that he made says a lot, I think, for how good this one is. I think what works about it most is how his flow is kind of drawn out a bit more than usual. Just makes it that bit more enduring, and yeah, love it for that. The kind of piercing sounds that come with it too in the drops. It is just savage. Then number 18, we have the Polyrhythm VIP from Phonon, who makes the incredibly off the wall that we get in the original just even more so. You know, it's more ramped up, scaled up, all that kind of thing, and he takes you on a bit of a ride here, not gonna lie, with the jazzy introduction, then descending into that mind-melting acidic filth that we get in that drop. It just feels a bit like Ordered Chaos, which is just what we've come to know him for. So very on the money here with this VIP. I think it could have been a bit more rounded and maybe not ended quite as abruptly, but there's still a lot of good to it here, and just very happy that he did give it the VIP treatment. At number 17, we have the Bass Trick remix of Best in the West, an extremely fun take, actually, on a Let's Be Friends classic. Let's Be Friends, of course, being the old alias of Joyride. But yeah, here, this remix, just a pure, outright, housey kind of bop. Quite A to B, you know, gets quite quickly from one section to another, but does a very good job of reworking the original, the vocal sample, all that kind of thing. So yeah, very, very bop-worthy. Okay, moving on, number 16, we have the Nico remix of Creator by Santagold, which is just some of the best vocal chopping that you're going to hear this year, without question, without doubt. Yeah, very clever kind of darting movement to these drops, which gives them just quite a direct feel. Love it for that. Very classy as well with the production overall, the execution, the way that the original is incorporated as well, the motifs from that original done very well. Yeah, watch out for Nico in 2023, gonna be a big year for him. At number 15, the Andromedic remix of Our Love Will Grow, one of the best vocals from the Maddock LP released last year, being reworked expertly in an expert way for sure. Yeah, very feel good this remix, a very hopeful energy surging through the whole thing. It's super infectious and summery and dreamy, but also packs a real punch in the heaviness we get. So yeah, a lot of good going for this one as well. At number 14, the Graphics remix of Hooked, and you know, few tracks got me more amped up and kind of hyped up this year than this one, I would have to say. It's just that lead line, that do-do-doom-doom-doo, boom, 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 boom. The first comes in the first build, right at the beginning, and just permeates the tune in such an effective way through the drops as well, and the note choice here with that is just perfect. The production backs it up, I think, really well also, and a cheeky vocal to go with it too. And I do mean it when it is cheeky. I mean the lyrics as well, just look out for that when you hear it. But yeah, that remix is good. And at number 13, we have the remix of You Broke Me First by Panda Eyes, who I must say chose an absolutely fantastic track to remix. My god, this vocal, it is just absolutely gorgeous, and he does have the right approach, I think, to support that. Just relatively low-key production style. We do get dubstep here, we get trap in the drops, but the way it's executed, the way it's kind of laid out and made, has quite a distant feel, and I think that supports and kind of complements the fragility and the delicacy of the vocal really well, and melodically, musically very on point as well. This take, this remix, this edit, yeah, just very, very beautiful stuff. After that, number 12, we have the MPH remix of Louis V. I just love the hype factor with this tune. Skank arms are fully out whenever this comes on. for the absolute entirety of the whole cut. And yeah, just so many good touches here in the drops in particular. It just feels like MPH in his element. It's very well made. There's an amazing groove to it. Like, don't catch me if I'm in the club and this comes on. I'm throwing arms. You know, you want to watch yourself. I become another being and another creature altogether. So, yeah, watch out for that. At number 11, we have the Amanu remix of Gassed Up, and it is amazing, actually, how high this track is placed, given it only came out a couple of days ago. What is it, like 4 or 5 days ago? But yeah, an incredible gristle to this tune. The flow is absolutely fantastic. The production is completely down, which is why I think it bites so hard. I think just the texture of this sound design overall just really gets under your skin, bubbles away, you know, kind of ties knots in your stomach, that kind of thing. And Flowdan's vocal is absolutely incredible over it as well. It just works so effectively. There's not really a thing that I would change about it or kind of make better. It's just a thing of like, if it had come out earlier and I'd had a bit more time to kind of get used to it, it would have been an easy top 10, I think. But, you know, just so happens that I've heard all the other ones in front of it quite a bit more. So that's the only thing that kind of brings it down and stops it being in the top 10. But don't get me wrong, this edit is fucking good. Okay, breaking into the top 10, and at number 10 we have one of my favourite artists of the year, and at the moment that is Neddy with his Traction VIP. What he's about, everything the Nedster is about, is laid out here in this tune. You got a load of fun, it doesn't take itself too seriously. The musical aspect of it, the production as well. Just one of the most iconic introductions of 2022 in bass music right here with the car horn. When that first happened, I mean, you saw the first listen, that just absolutely floored me. And this tune as well, melodically fantastic all round. You got that gnarly second drop switch as well, with the first one being extremely euphoric. It's very, very fun, it's very, very well done, and I love it. Moving on from there, number 9, we have one of my big room techno tracks of the year straight up, and that is the T78 remix of God. And that is God with 2 Ds, by the way. T78 just continues to transport me directly to the live environment. I love and adore the motoring energy of this cut, which is a bit of a fixture in his music, but he gets it particularly right here. An iconic vocal to go with that, huge drops, both of them very, very good, very seismic, and just everything I love about him and that style kind of captured in this tune. The movement of it, the bounce of it. Yeah, I really, really love this tune. At number 8, we have the electrifying Similar Outskirts in pretty much full flow with his take on Visionary, which is a big complextro dubstep combo sound kind of track. Pretty much just what we've come to know his style for the last few years or so. But yeah, very full of life, with the energy maxed out, and a lot of very clever melodic touches in this tune, kind of stitching together different sections that we get. Just makes it very seamless and makes it run very smoothly, I think, given how much is going on here. Keeping it varied as well in quite interesting and effective ways. It's just exhilarating stuff, it really is. Okay, edging closer now, and at number 7 we have the ISO EXO remix of Two Hearts, which for me I think captures exactly what Knock 2 is about, whilst ISO EXO clearly puts his own stamp on it. It's just that staple icy trap kind of sound that he has become very renowned for the last couple of years or so, and this is one of the best layouts of it in my opinion. And with all the charm, I think, still of Knock 2 kind of bound up in it, it's clearly an ISO EXO tune, but the way that he works in that Knock 2 kind of essence, I think is just done expertly on this tune, I would have to say. Also loving the kind of ABBA format with the drops. You can divide each one into 2 mini ideas, and then we get one and then a different one, then the different one repeats first for the second drop, and then the first drop that we get repeats at the end of the second drop. So yeah, it's clever in that way, but overall structurally quite simple, but oh so powerful with the layout of all these different ideas that we get. Yeah, a very, very effective tune. Making itself known at the number 6 spot, we have Dark House music done good, and when I say good, I mean very, very, very good, and that is the Max Styler remix of Feel Good Inc. by Gorillaz. This is one of, if not the most irresistible beat that I have heard this year. It's just up there on offer as the most irresistible beat that I've heard all year. Just the naughtiest bass line pretty much that I've heard, I think, this year in bass music in 2022. And he makes expert use of the vocal that we get from De La Soul as well in the original as well. And it just all ties up together really well here. Like, it's another one of those where I just don't think there's a moment that I would change or alter or just take in a different direction. It's just all the choices made here are so good, and it just constitutes for me as a kind of ideal and perfect take on that original. It's such a good track to remix, and he did a fucking amazing job. Just saying, no one else can do it now. This is as good as it gets with this original, just saying. Coming in at number 5, we have another absolute bop of a tune. I mean, I was talking about the bass trick earlier being a bit of a bop, but this one just levels up on the boppage. I'm just gonna say, that is the AC Slater remix of West Coaster by Phlegmatic Dogs. And you know what, guys, sometimes simple just hits way too good, and it's because everything works here, from the production to the transitioning from section to section, the reworking of the vocal as well. It's just all very, very well done, nothing out of place, all tying together very well. The drops that we get here are just so sumptuous, they are gorgeous, they're just so good on the air. I think a couple of you who hear this tune, you might not quite get it, you might find it a little bit, you know, just simple and maybe basic even in a way, and maybe not that bassy, but my god, this is one that I found very difficult to tear myself away from. Even the introduction is fucking fantastic, like so simple but so well done. It is another fantastic house cut in this list right here, and yeah, I fucking love it. At number 4, we have a looming, a threatening, a daunting, a moving, and also a stunning techno track. A remix of Strangers from Tin Liquor. The journey that this track takes you on with that main lead, it just really hits a certain spot. So much charm, so much storytelling appeal to this track, and it's all bound up in that main lead that just permeates the tune, really takes you repeatedly on that journey. The way it builds, the way it rebuilds, it's very well done, very delicate, but feels like there's a bit of revenge involved as well. You just get that surging energy that pushes this main character forward in this tune. It's so well done. All managed perfectly, the production's so warm and full and rounded. Yeah, this is elite stuff for me right here. Coming in at number 3, we have what is probably the least overtly bass tune on this list, but which is still bassy, and which beyond that is completely beautiful, and I would say even divine, which I know is kind of high praise and quite a word to use for a piece of music, but that is exactly what I believe. This thing is just magical, mesmeric, and that is the Ivy Lab remix of To Find Love Is To Seek The End. This right here is some of the best melody work that I've heard all year within bass music, originals and remixes as well, and actually not just this year, but of the last couple of years. Like, this is just so mystical and beautifully done. I kind of feel like I'm in a smoky jazz bar kind of situation or environment, kind of, you know, like sepia tinted if it was to be on film, and, you know, just a kind of low hanging smoke just hovering above with all sorts of little musical experimentation going on in the room and in the establishment, if you will. Basically, it depicts that scene very well, rooting it in a bit of reality, but then to kind of go beyond that, it also feels quite otherworldly, like a bit of a dream. It's quite hazy, like I don't quite know where I am, but it's also very warm and comforting, and there's a darkness to it beyond that as well, which just gives it a bit of menace, a bit of evil, with the kicks and the piano hits that we get here and there, giving it that bass element. So summing all of that up, it is just quite a surreal track, and then also completely gorgeous, and one that I'm going to be going back to again and again in the coming years. So yeah, this one has had an effect on me. I love it so much, and it's going to stick, I think, as one of the best remixes of this decade. I think I can only see it maybe even potentially growing on me more. So yeah, amazing tune. Then at number 2, we have one of my favourite artists of the last couple of years, as many of you know already and are very familiar with. This guy is incredible, continues to impress, just continues to wow as well. What an incredible musician and producer. It's Knock 2 in complete full flow pretty much, just everything to enjoy and love about his style on this edit, on this remix. It's his take of Arena by ISOXO. Yeah, like I said, this is him pretty much, if not completely, in full flow, and it is also, I think, one of his best tunes ever, which is quite saying something, given how many tunes of his I enjoy, which you all know, of course, by now. But I think you can put this amongst his very best that we've heard from him over the last couple of years or so. It's right up there, I think. You know, the musicality is spot on. The vocal sampling that we get from the original is just reworked here perfectly. The builds as well, I think that kind of goes under the radar with his style generally, but the builds play such an important role in setting up the drops that we get. they wouldn't be anywhere near as powerful without those setups. So yeah, they're fantastic. A bit of a brain rattling kind of quality, and that sounds a little bit, you know, not great, but it's actually really good for creating that seismic gargantuan feel that gives it that proper movement and hype, like I said, across the tune. A bit of emotion as well running through it, just giving it that kind of melancholic outlay and kind of reflective slant and avenue to enjoy it through as well. So yeah, I mean, such a roller coaster yet again from him. So many different ways to enjoy it, I think, and easily one of the very best remixes of this year in bass music. A solid number 2 placement there for Knock 2. But coming in at number 1, my top bass remix of the year of 2022, and yeah, this is the one of all the remixes that I heard this year, this is the one that just has the most going for it, if I'm going to put it plainly and simply, from the melodies to production-wise, the vocal, and also the added bits of instrumentation that we get beyond the electronic stuff in what is fundamentally and of course an electronic tune. Might just be my favourite track from this producer ever, which is quite a big thing to say, but yeah, I very much mean it. It is the Sullivan King remix of Never Change. Yeah, I struggle to think of a more complete track that he's put out as a mix of concept and production-wise. I mean, of course, we've got tracks from him in the past that have had the concept down, the production not quite being there, and vice versa as well, so to have both these things here working in complete unison just makes for a very compelling and striking tune, and which is for me outright 100% the best remix of the year. It just takes all the right steps in my opinion, and the drops hit in all the right ways as well. I mean, it's house. It's a housey kind of bop that we get here, but it's got a really dark energy, brooding, huge, thick, dark sound made really well. And you know, a genre that he's attempted in the past, but never quite with that fullness of sound, and he achieves that so well here, the kind of colossal nature of it, really backing up the singing and the melodic aspect with the guitar as well. Again, like I said earlier, just before we got into the meat of this kind of coverage, it all ties together so well here. Shouts, I think, must also go to the Caracal Project remix of this track, which is beautiful, stunning in a lot of ways, but the Sullivan King that we get right here for me is just another level of songwriting. It really is exceptional, and I love it. My number 1 remix in bass music of the year of 2022. Sullivan King, his take on Never Change. But there we have it, guys, my top bass remixes of 2022. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know below what you made of my list, and also drop all of your favourite remixes of the year in bass music in the comments down below. Compilations coming up next on Thursday, I think, so yeah, like I said at the beginning of the video, make sure you are subbed and have hit the bell along the way so you're notified whenever one of these videos drop. You're going to want to catch them as soon as they come out, so yeah, make sure you have done all of that. Beyond that, keep it naughty, and if it's naughty, then you know, and I shall see all of you legends in the next one. Peace.